What's up? What's happening? Welcome into Foxborough Rush. George Balekji back with Annabelle Hasselbeck. Excited because this is a Friday episode. So yes, it's a weekend. Patriots football is back today. Mike Vrabel football, we will see it today. It's the preseason, I know. But Patriots Commanders kicks off tonight in Foxborough. So we'll be previewing that matchup. Here from the DC side, as Travis Thomas himself caught up with some legends from DC. One being Chris Baker, former Commanders defensive lineman. Other one, Chick Hernandez, who's an institution in DC. Talking Jaden Daniels, talking Patriots, talking Drake May. We'll get into some Tom Brady statue talk, and we'll also hear from Christian Barmore, along with Antonio Gibson, and we got plenty more in this show. But first things first, AB, how we doing? Happy Friday. Happy game day. I love that I just said that. Happy game day, Annabelle.
Happy game day. That is my favorite phrase. So pumped. It feels strange because it's still summer weather out here in Boston and we're having these preseason games, but it's going to come quick and the season is already underway. It's pretty wild.
It feels weird, but it's like it's 80 and hot today. But you wake up in the mornings, it's a little too cool. It does feel like it's somewhat fall-y. So just saying that. Also, I want to give a shout out to your Eagles. Go Eags, right? That's what we say on this podcast.
Yeah, roll Eags. Let's go.
Roll Eags. I like it better. I've been seeing a lot of Bill O'Brien content rolling out from the ACC network. I've been seeing a lot of Boston College football in year 2 under BOB. I'm excited to see that too. I cannot wait for a game day in the Heights. Like just quick, not planned. I swear to God, Annabelle did not Oh no, the Venmo went through. Okay, cool. Appreciate the $10, Annabelle. We're pumping a little BC here. No, but actually, and that's where you wake up in the morning and there's that, it hits you where it's like, oh, it's football weather. It feels like football weather. Best feeling in the world, in my opinion.
It is the best feeling in the world. And I hope this year, now that I'm 2 years removed from Boston College, I have less of imposter syndrome. Last year, I'd go to games and be like that weird tension of, can I sit in the student section? How close can I get to the student section? This year, it's like totally different. Don't have any of that. But yeah, man, I'm so excited to see what Bill O'Brien can do with this team coming in his second year.
You'll see. You'll go to a game and you're not even going to think about the student section. And then it's going to hit you. You're like, oh, that's called growth. That's called growth. Where you're going to watch them and be like, those were the good old days, but you're not going to feel weird not sitting in the student section. You'll feel, more mature, more evolved as you are. So let's get into tonight's game. Commanders at Patriots. A lot of starters like Jaden Daniels isn't playing. Week 1 of the preseason, you don't see a lot of starters play. So we'll be talking more like backup heavy role players. But week 2 is when you'll see it happen. I think the good thing to start with, though, what do you want to pick up from this game? This is very meaningful for the Patriots. With all the hype and excitement we could have about Mike Vrabel, okay, now we're going to see football. What I'm watching for is a simple, procedural stuff. The operation. How easily do they flow in and out of the huddles? Do they have dumb penalties? Is it a smooth operation literally on the football field? Before we get into the depth talk, that's what I'm looking for. How much does Mike Vrabel have his hands on everything in a way of you go, oh, this is a well-coached team? We haven't seen it for a couple seasons. What about you, Annabelle? What were you looking for? First things first. I guess we could go the big picture, the macro of it all. What are you looking for tonight?
Yeah, well, it's so early, right? And I think with preseason games, you're not really worried about your opponent. You're more so concerned on your team. And like you said, having a clean operation. And the biggest thing is get out healthy. We do not need any injuries, especially to our number ones. And Vrabel even said, he said, my starters are going to play. If they're healthy, they're going to play. How much, we don't know. But I think just like you said, you need to have a clean operation. It's also it's a good test run, right? What are warm-ups going to look like? What's, the whole locker room situation? Who's talking? All those things are factors that you find out throughout the season, and this game is going to be a great test run for all those things.
Yeah, and it's also what I'm excited about. We got it from the joint practice, AB, but the competitiveness. I mean, this is whatever you want. Whoever's on the field, at the end of the day, this was a team in the Commanders that was a quarter away from playing in the Super Bowl. I know the Eagles really handled them, but basically a half away. They made it to the NFC Championship game. Let's keep it there. I don't want to talk about their shortcomings. Let's talk about their achievements. There may be a lot of new faces in the depth chart. There may be a lot of new guys on that field. But at the end of the day, that is a well-coached football team. So how do the backups of the Patriots, how do the role players for the Patriots compete with a team that was knocking on the door to get into the Super Bowl, the biggest game of the year? That's what's important too. Week 1 preseason, you get off. It was joint practices. Then what's the next step? Is a massive test and just honestly a barometer in a way of measuring yourselves against who was one of the teams that is the class of the NFC. That's what I'm excited for. Shifting a little to the individual players. Who is someone you have your eye on the Patriots side you'll be watching for tonight?
Yeah, well, there's this guy. He's probably the oldest guy on the team. He got into a little bit of a riff at Wednesday's joint practice. His name's Mike Vrabel. He's looking to get back at the physicality that came at him. So, no, but in all seriousness, like, I'm excited. I know we won't see him for very long, but I'm excited to see Drake May just get out there, take command of the line of scrimmage, take command of the huddle. Like, I know he probably doesn't have that same demeanor as Tom Brady. He seems a little more mellow with his intensity, more of a pick-up basketball intensity kind of guy. He's probably not going to go out there and do the let's go like Tom Brady did, but it is poetic in a sense that you have Tom Brady's statue unveiling today at the same day that Drake May is going to be taking the field as the starter for the first time. This is your franchise quarterback. So yeah, I'm just excited to literally see Drake May in that position and really own it. But you got guys like Travion Henderson, who we've been talking about. You've got guys like Will Campbell, who, you know, now that you put the bright lights on them, can you protect your quarterback? And how much of that we'll see. But just really excited to really see Drake May step out into this new Patriots era.
I love the way you started that. I was like, oh, who's like the vet free agent they signed?
He's really old. You're not going to guess him. He's been there for a while.
I was like, who's like this 6-year college football player that's undrafted free agent? You're right. It's one of those guys in the building. I've been looking for him.
Hey, you know, he said you want to practice how you play. He's getting in the mix there.
Yes.
He's making national headlines. Here's the funniest part. I didn't actually get to see the full video of that fight break out. It could have been like the smallest scratch, and it's like blood has been shed. You know?
But there's blood.
Like, I love it. But there's blood.
It's one of those like, no one makes me bleed my own blood. Like, that's what we were getting from Mike Vrabel. That's what I thought too. I'm like, it could be the most minute scratch, but someone saw a cloth and they saw red on the cloth after at that point. I like that you point out to Drake May, whether he plays or not, it is what will be his demeanor, and if he is on the field. Like, one thing I like about him, and I love that you point out, like, all right, he may not be like Tom Brady. I don't want him to be like Tom Brady. I want Drake May to be Drake May. I thought something that what Mac Jones did, and I'm not holding it against him, and in no way, in my opinion, does have an impact on how his tenure ended up with New England, but was week one of him being a starter as a rookie, he did the run down the field, let's go thing, like you mentioned. Tom Brady did that, and that's fine. You want to do it, cool, but do it because that's you. Be you out there. And I think that's what's important for Drake May. And I think he went through rookie season. He sat behind Jacoby Brissett, and then he took over as a starter. And last season was a disappointment. He was tired of losing. But in a way, like that baptism by the fire where he figured out being himself and found his voice. And now this offseason, him being the guy all year, he's going to be Drake May, whatever it may be. I don't need to see the fire we saw from Brady. I want to see Drake May succeed as a quarterback in any way that it comes. He could be loud. He could be the rah-rah guy. He could be calm, cool, collective, and kind of quiet, like an Eli Manning. If you're clutch, who cares? That's all I care about for him. So I like that you point that out. Like, okay, there definitely will be a different confidence to him too, though, because he's going from rookie, starting as a backup, hey, man, when you're ready, but Jacoby's a guy, to no, dude, this is you. You are tapped as the franchise quarterback. You will be that guy. Beyond Drake May, beyond the big name, I do need to see how these wide receivers work. And I'm more watching Kyle Williams, Javon Baker, and Jalen Polk, because those are guys. Kyle Williams will make the roster. To me, he's a top 4 receiver. But Javon Baker and Jalen Polk, especially being bubble guys. Javon Baker, the highs are high. Great contested catch receiver. Very athletic. He has that high ceiling. It's why he was a 6th-round pick. But the floor is very low, where he wasn't even active on some Sundays last year. And that's where that comes from. So I want to see how those guys look. And on the flip side, too, DJ James. Carlton Davis, Christian Gonzalez haven't been practicing. We've heard his name a lot in training camp. Okay, in a game setting, how smart are you in your execution? And what can you do there? Like those are those under-the-radar names where, yes, Drake May, Will Campbell, Travion Henderson, I love that you named him too. Like, I can't wait to see what he's capable of. But again, with this team, you want good depth. I'm interested what we'll get from the guys that are more bottom of the depth chart, possibly practice squad guys or possibly guys that are on the bubble overall.
Yeah, that wide receiver room is super interesting because, like you said, they are on the bubble, and there was high expectations for them. You go second with Baker, you go second and fourth in the draft with Jalen Polk, and they probably weren't even as happy, obviously, with the production that they got. And you have a new coaching staff, like new regime. You have to prove yourself. Everyone has to prove themselves. So it's really just about how they're going to respond. And Baker this past week, right? He had a lot of highlights from this past week in training camp, and even just getting reps with the one. So it's going to be up to Polk to really make a statement in these games. And also, what can you do on special teams, right? Like, what are you going to do when we're punting the ball? Because if anything, you want to keep a guy that you can also use. And you know how important special teams is to the Patriots.
Yeah. Lane Larison, everyone's hyped about him out of the backfield. As a gunner, how does he look? Also, same thing with Matt Collins. He's a good receiver. He also helps out on special teams. All right, we talked Patriots. Now hear from the Commander side. This one, Chick Hernandez, longtime broadcaster in DC. Literally, Travis grew up watching him as he was saying it. A lot of great insight, including a nugget. Listen at the end when they're talking about Terry McLaurin. I'm ready to put to bed Terry McLaurin of the Patriots. Hear from Chick Hernandez. Why? Right here.
Here with the legend, Chick Hernandez, who's been so great to me in my career.
Wow.
Yeah, legend.
Okay. Wow,
Your
okay.
check's in the mail.
Well,
they do Venmo nowadays, so whatever.
Right.
I don't know. That's what they say.
I got it all.
Chick, let's start here. Everyone's talking about Drake May, Jaden Daniels. They'll be connected at the hip forever in their careers.
Will they?
I do believe they will, but clearly Jaden Daniels had a head start because, I mean, look, a bad quarter, if you want to say, away from the Super Bowl.
Sure.
Drake May, not so much, but the supporting cast wasn't there. The front office, the coaching staff was not there like it was for Jaden Daniels. I do believe this season we could see a Jaden Daniels-esque season from Drake May. From what you've seen today, from what you're hearing, do you see that kind of potential?
Well,
we went right after him in the draft.
I saw what I saw. You know, we were at all 3 pro days, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Jaden Daniels. So clearly Drake has a lot of skill set. And I saw some throws today. I'm like, oh, okay. Wow, I did not know that. You know, so clearly he's got talent. But I come from dealing with Jaden for all of last year and how he prepares for a game. I don't know what Drake's preparation is. Obviously, it's pretty good if you're an NFL quarterback. But you know, I come from the Jaden Daniels school, who's going through a walkthrough by himself at 6 o'clock in the morning in a bubble, kind of going through the routine. So when he hits the field, he's already up. And there's no questions. So I'm sure Drake is doing a lot of preparatory work because you have to as a quarterback in the National Football League. But a lot of skill set, high skill set. I just can't compare the two.
Sure.
I can't right now. I know folks will. And that's why I looked at you when you said they're going to be, hip to hip for the rest. I don't know if that's going to be the case because I personally, and it's 1 year. I got a 1 year version. Number 5, he's on a trajectory that I don't think folks have seen.
Yeah, no one has. And now, but you've been in this game a long time, now it's the expectations. Now the schedule's harder. Now it's more primetime games.
Yes.
Now it's more tape on you. Do you believe, it's hard to say replicate what he did in year 1, but what are you expecting to see from Jaden Daniels in that leap from rookie season to year 2?
I don't think there's a sophomore slump.
Okay.
And he surprised me last year, and I think he's going to surprise me this year.
Wow.
I've seen some just throws that he made in camp last week, and I had a chance because I'm calling the play-by-play for the games to talk with the coordinators, and I asked both offense and defense, Cliff Kingsbury, Joe Witt Jr., are you guys kind of just watching what he's doing? And Joe Witt, who's got his own defense to worry about, he's like, hold on a second, different cat. He's making throws that we just haven't seen. So he's so far ahead of the game, and they do the VR work. Him and Cliff Kingsbury.
That's right.
They do VR at a speed and a half. So when the game time rolls around, everything just slows down a little bit.
That's crazy.
And I've asked some coaches in the league, well, do you think all quarterbacks? And the answer I get is, well, not all quarterbacks can decipher it.
Sure.
So number 5, that's the way he's done it. He's processed it that way. Other quarterbacks don't work that way. I think coaching staffs have said, how about VR? And they're like, yeah, I'm okay. Some guys have. So we'll see.
Holy hell, Chick. I can barely check my email. I mean, they're watching VR.
I know you because I've emailed you several times. I got nothing back. 0.
Not me.
Hey, it's a Travis mockery is what it is. That's what it is.
I see what you did there.
Yes.
I see what you did there. I like it. All right, now look. You're a Terp. Legendary Terp.
Well,
Stephon Diggs is a Terp.
Yes, he is.
Stephon Diggs is a New England Patriot.
Yes, he is.
Are you expecting big things? Now he's older. We get it. He's coming off an injury.
Yeah. Oh, he's a ridiculous talent.
Yeah.
He always has been. It's whether or not he can stay out of his own way with his attitude.
Sure.
He's got a little girlfriend.
Yeah, it's a little love interest here.
Yeah, that always can be a deterrent in your athletic endeavors. But he's also got something to prove to himself first, and then this squad. So I expect if he's fully healthy, you come off an injury like that, that's tough.
Yeah.
We'll see. He's got great hands, runs great routes. It's just where his mental space is, and he's a Terp. I want him to do as well as possible.
Yeah.
Until you get to the Super Bowl and it's New England versus Washington. Then I want to see him get a turf toe and be out.
Hey, at least we get to see each other again if that's the case. I want to ask you about I want to ask you about another wide receiver now.
Okay.
I hate to go here with you, Chick, but I got to. Do you think Terry McLaurin's going to end up with the Patriots? Because I do. Most cap space in the league. You can give up some draft capital. How come the Commanders aren't paying him? I mean, what's going on there? Send him up here, Chick. Just like they sent me here, send Terry. Come on.
There's two questions I have. One is, what's wrong with Travis? And two is, does he own an iron? What I mean,
This is called hard work.
That's hard work?
This is why I'm so disheveled, because I work so hard.
I think Terry will be a Washington Commander. I've said it for the last 2 months. I think this is going to work out ultimately. I'll say this.
Uh-oh.
It might have already worked out.
Oh, see?
It might be that you're just like, Terry's Terry.
Yeah.
He knows the offense.
Yeah.
And he's in the building every day.
Oh,
he's going through the mental reps, all that stuff. He doesn't need much.
Well, there's an L right out of my sail.
That's a big old L right there. So, yeah.
Breaking news, Terry re-signed with the Commanders, coming in 3-2, because that guy knows.
Can we get some anybody?
Anyone?
Buy him an iron.
Anyone. And a
Anybody.
Gatorade for working so hard. No one?
Working hard.
Wrinkles, thirsty, no one cares. But I'm still on the grind, just like you taught me, my brother.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
Absolutely. Get an iron.
I just love the ending. Shout out Chick Hernandez. For anyone that doesn't know, he's basically like best way to put it, the TC, Tom Karen of DC, TC of DC. But aside from him calling out Trav for the wrinkled shirt, which I love, you see the brotherhood they have between them. At the end, he going, what if I said this? There's already an agreement. It's already done. Don't worry about it. It's just not signed yet. When I heard that, yes, my heart fell into my gut because I had a dream of Terry McLaurin wearing a Patriots uniform, running down the field as one of the best receivers in the league, clearly be Patriots wide receiver one and making plays. The Commanders would have been idiots to let him walk or more trade him. So we kind of put that to bed. And again, Annabelle, that amplifies what we will be watching for tonight. How do the wide receivers look? And for the remainder of the preseason, because this is the room. These are the weapons Drake May will have to work with.
Yeah, it's interesting that, he thinks that maybe a deal's already gotten done. That's also him on the Commander's side, okay? So, there's still a chance. There's still a chance for sure. But I thought it was interesting how he said, he doesn't need much. It's all just mental reps. Like, he's in this offense before. At the same time, there's still moments that you can build on with your team and your quarterback. You spent one season together. That's not saying it's end all be all, that's enough. At the same time, your body probably needs to go through training camp and just get ready for the grind of that. So yeah, I think regardless of whether he does come back to the Commanders or not, that missed time is not something to overlook.
Yeah, it definitely would matter. It's just a matter of, with a vet like him, second year in the system, won't impact as much. But you're right. This chemistry matters because there's a different makeup to the room. Offensive line is different. And also Jaden Daniels, he'll take a jump in his game. He'll take a step forward. So you want to expect that as well. All right, we'll take a quick break here in Foxborough Rush. When we're back, hear from Christian Barmore, hear from former Commanders defensive lineman, stick with the D-line in the segment, Chris Baker, and we'll be talking more about the preview of tonight and what to watch for as well. Be right back right here on Foxborough Rush. Welcome back to Foxborough Rush. All right, so we heard from the DC side, and we heard from a reporter over in DC. Shout out Trav for hustling the other day and getting that. Now let's hear from a Patriots player, Christian Barmore, back with the team, blood clots behind him, slimmed down this offseason. Here's him talking about facing Jaden Daniels and the Commanders.
Well, look, what's called we type of player, everybody make a play. If somebody make a play, I feel like everybody make the play. That's how it is. It's ain't all about one person. It's all about the whole team. So we all give energy. Everybody, give a good play. So we always give energy. So I feel like, we're going to keep getting better. That's good, though. We're going to get energy.
How difficult is it to chase around Jaden Daniels? It looked like maybe there's a play where he broke through.
That boy fast, man. I ain't going to lie. I've been fast. But look, hey, I know I had a good angle, but he fast. Good quarterback. Real good quarterback. But, yeah, fast.
In what ways do you feel better as a player right now than you did when you tried to give it a go last year?
Say it again?
What way as a player do you feel better? Do you feel like you're performing better than you did last year when you were trying to play those 4 or 5 weeks?
Man, really just You can't take nothing for granted, man. So it's just like, I enjoy this game. I love this game, and I love being here. I love playing with my teammates. I love the coaches. So if you love the game, man, you give it all you got. And that's what I feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Do you feel more like your old self this year compared to last year, though?
Yeah, compared to I'm good to myself, yeah. Better, like, yeah.
You had a pretty dominant rep in one-on-ones. What's the goal there? What do you remember about the
The goal is, our coach always tells us every day, every time we get a one-on-one, we must win. So that's our goal every time we see him. It's on us on the wall, so it's just about every day. It's all about winning on one-on-one. So we take that personally, especially the whole D-line. Work out a one-on-one, that's our goal is to win. So, yeah.
It seemed like you guys bombed up the option runs pretty well. What was the key to that?
Say it again?
It seems like you guys bombed up the option runs pretty well. What was the key to that?
Man, really just listen to our coaches and have good run fits, good hands inside, and have good square up. Really just playing good technique with the coaches teaching us.
How would you evaluate the pass rush today?
Score, of course, I think it was real good. I think it's good, but of course we're going to keep getting better every day. It's all about stacking days, keep getting better.
How is your chemistry developing with Milton Williams? It seems like you guys are using more stunts, working with each other. So what's that process been?
My guy, man, we just like doing our thing. What Coach telling us to do. We always taught me and him. The game was win up front. So I told him we taught each other every day. It was on us. It was on the whole D line. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, we have a good. If we control the line of scrimmage, we can have a good day. So that's our goal every time we on that field.
What have you learned about Tyler's talent since you started playing with him?
My boy T, man, hell of a worker, a dog. Strong hands. He's a strong guy, actually. Strong as hell, excuse my language. And, he's just doing his thing, man. Working hard. He going to be good.
How helpful is it to have a big body like that in the middle?
Oh, a blessing. Hell yeah. Tonga, he can take up 2, he can take up 3. Man, big guy, he's really strong. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, let's get it.
How hard is it to move a guy like that, 335? That's a lot of people.
So, you tell me, guy. You got a good, you know what I'm saying? Real strong guy, yeah.
Is it any more difficult to make sure you're disciplining your pass rush lanes now that you're in a more attacking defense, and just what's going through your head?
Of course, always got to be disciplined. The game is all about discipline, about watching the ball so we won't jump, you know what I'm saying? It's all about everything, But everything, of course, we got to listen to the coach like I said earlier, listen to the game plan, do what we got to execute right. So, we got to do everything we got to do.
Christian Barmore, love listening to him talk because he talks so damn fast. It is the funniest thing. But I also loved him, every time you ask him about his team and he really gets locked in on talking about the Patriots and I'll see the season ahead, something taps in, I don't know, but you could hear the change in his voice. You can see the look in his eyes. It gets to the point where think you need to step away from the podium. You need to go back out on the field and play more football. That's the excitement. That's the energy he brings every time. But it's great to hear from someone that needs to be a leader on this defense, wants to be. He's one of the highest paid players and is a massive addition because you could argue there's Christian Gonzalez and there's him. We'll see Milton Williams and the rest. He could be their best player on defense. And that's saying a lot with now Milton Williams, Harold Landry, Christian Gonzalez, Carlton Davis, Robert Spillane now on that defense.
Yeah, well, and he knows it. He knows that what they do at the line of scrimmage and even just talking with Milton Williams, we set the tone and what they do is going to make guys like Gonzo's job way easier, right? But I think that awareness of it starts with us is so great. But like you said, I love his energy. I love his passion. And he's been asked this a few times just coming back from that really serious blood clot situation. Are you yourself? Do you feel like you're playing like you? And he's really just been I'm going to be grateful and I'm going to play free. And as an athlete, when you are in this state of just grateful to be out there, that's the most dangerous that you can be.
Mm-hmm. He lost football last year. He came back at a point in the season. He did play a game, but he had stuff came back up. I don't know the full story, but obviously he was dealing with the blood clots. Doctor saw something and said, shut it down, man. Just take the year off. And he's spoken about his confidence fully behind him. He has slimmed down. He said it's better on his knees, him dropping some weight. And obviously that's also in response in a good way to him dealing with blood clots. He's taking that step forward. But again, being away from the game, forced, you can't even work out with the team pretty much. When you're dealing with blood clots, you have to sit down and bring everything slower to get back up to speed for him. You can tell that is so important to him. Okay, so we just heard from Christian Barmore, current defensive tackle for the Patriots. Now hear from Chris Baker, former defensive tackle for the Commanders. He caught up with Travis Thomas the other day as well, talking some Jaden Daniels, Drake May, even some Tom Brady. Listen here.
All right, Chris, the one thing everyone wants to talk about is a quarterback battle. These two, Drake May, Jaden Daniels, will be connected at the hip for the rest of their careers, for better or for worse. Last season, we saw, obviously, the success of Jaden Daniels. Drake May didn't have the supporting cast at all. I think this season we'll get a little more of a Jaden Daniels-esque type season out of Drake
Chill
May.
out, man.
What,
Chill
is,
out,
is
man.
it too much?
Too much.
Too
man.
much?
Jaden Daniels is one of a kind, man.
Facts.
You got to be easy on comparing people to him, man.
Facts. What do you see from Drake May that you like?
I don't know. I don't really watch him. I only watch Jaden.
So you being real disrespectful.
No,
now.
I'm
Come
being
on
real,
now.
man. I love Jaden, man.
You ain't watched Drake May, bro.
I'm a Washington Commander.
Yeah,
guy.
but you're a student of the game. You watch all these guys.
He's pretty good. He shows a lot of athleticism. You know, he's able to get the ball out quick, and then he has a really good offensive coordinator with Josh McDaniels. And Tom Brady was really good, but it was only really good when he had Josh McDaniels as his coordinator. So it'll be great to see how May does with him.
You played against Tom a couple
Oh,
times.
yeah. They
How'd
kicked
you
our
do
butt.
against Tom?
They always kicked our butt as a team, but I played well against our offensive linemen.
I had to humble him a little, man. Just a scotch. This is my man.
We're in New England. We're in New England, so I'll give you guys your props.
You got good props there.
Especially during that time, New England was the team to
Yeah,
beat.
facts.
Now Washington is the team to
All
beat.
right, let's talk Jaden Daniels then. Year one, incredible. It almost reminds me of like when an artist puts out a great album, right? Like 50 drops, Get Rich or Die Trying. And 50's been chasing that ever
But
since.
you know what? Ever since we picked Jaden Daniels, I always said he's going to be just like RG3. He's going to have that RG3 effect, and it felt like it. Because when RG3 came in his rookie year, the whole town, the whole city was around RG3.
Yeah,
and
facts.
They had his back, and now the DC community is really back behind the team. They
Yeah.
really have Jaden's back.
Well, Jaden's not going to mess it up either because Jaden's humble, and that was an issue with the other guy, but we won't go there.
Yeah, his mom is not going to let him mess it up either.
Facts.
Jaden Daniels' mom was not going to be too far away.
Now, let me ask you this, because you are undrafted. So, for those who don't know, Chris Baker's from here. He's from Connecticut, went to school, went undrafted from Hampton, made it to the league, and was a problem, okay? But
sir.
you came into training camp as an undrafted rookie.
Yes.
There are first-round picks out on this field. We're talking about Drake May and Jaden Daniels. Can you talk to me about the difference of mentality that you saw from where you came in getting it out of the mud to maybe like a first-round guy that's got all the hype?
Man, you know, when you're a first-round guy, you have chances to make mistakes. As an undrafted free agent, you have no mistakes. There is no my bets. There is no I'll make it up next play, because the next play you might not get a chance to get back in. So as an undrafted free agent, I always had to take advantage of every opportunity that I got. Whether it was on the field, it was at the walkthrough, it was in the classroom, you got to take advantage of everything, because you never know when your opportunity is going to come. And when you get your opportunity, you have to take advantage of it, because at first I was in the league and I was like, bro, I'm not getting 10, 12 plays, but the older veteran was like, don't count the plays, make the plays count. So even though I had 6 plays, what did I do with them 6 plays to deserve 8 plays? So I went out there and I just tried to play. And every time I got an opportunity, I made a tackle. So it was like, let's put this guy back out. Let's put him out there and see what he got. And eventually it was like, yo, we can't take this guy off the field. But you got to take advantage of your opportunities.
Is that the advice you would give to the young guys now who are trying to earn their way on? No matter what reps you get, make the most of it so you can get more.
You have to, because you're not going to get any more reps until you practice good. I had to understand that if I'm going to be able to play in the game, I have to show what I have to do in the game and practice first.
Right.
So you have to pretty much treat practice like a game, and I had to learn that as the years went through.
Dietrich Wise, Antonio Gibson, a lot of guys who came from Commanders and Patriots and vice versa. What's it like when you see old teammates on other teams? Because you've been in that position.
It's great, man. You want to come back, you want to show the team, hey, you guys let me go, and I'm going to kick your butt. You guys should have never let me leave. So you got to go out and you got to perform.
You've done that a few times in your career.
No doubt about it. Last time we had Kent with Coach Vrabel, we had the big team brawl.
Oh, we saw a couple brawls out here today. It was light work, though.
I seen Vrabel right in the mix. I was like, he still think he playing.
Now, look, I saw Jason Tatum over there hanging out, and then I look and I see you in a little crew. Did you say what's up to JT?
Of course, you know I'm a Lakers fan, so I had to take a couple of digs at him.
There you go, man. You up here
but
talking all this.
It was good to see him back healthy and walking pretty good, man.
Yeah.
For him to have 20 Achilles a couple months ago, for him to be walking and looking healthy, that's pretty good.
All right, let's get some predictions here. Do you think the Patriots will be improved this season? They only won 4 games last year, Swaggy, for God's
after
sakes.
4 games, I mean, it's not much to improve on, so you should show some type of improvement.
They have Mike Vrabel now, too. That makes a big difference as a coach.
No doubt about it.
Okay, let's get into the Commanders then, because I know you want to talk that talk.
Oh, yeah.
Now, they were a bad half. If you ask me, they were a bad quarter maybe away from the Super Bowl.
Couple turnovers.
Couple turnovers. Do you think they get the job done and they get to the bowl this year?
I think so, man. We just got to put it together week after week, you know. we have the quarterback, and that's what we've been missing for years. And now we got the quarterback. We just got to put it together as a whole team, offense, defense, and special teams. So we'll see how we look in the preseason game in week 1 and beat those Giants, and we'll be all right.
All right, last question, because we cool, so I can ask this. Now, you're from this area. I just got here 3 years ago. Man, they have embraced me and shown me so much love, man. What is it about the DMV that New England shows love, man? Because I feel real welcome up here, bro.
Man, New England is pretty welcoming. If they love you, they love you. If they hate you, they hate you.
That's a fact. Thank God they love me. Chris Baker, Travis Thomas, appreciate it. Back to y'all.
That's Connecticut native Chris Baker. So I agree with him. It's like the same. It's the Northeast. If they love you, you're good. If they hate you, you got to go somewhere else, which I think is the best way. Shoot it straight up or not at all. He did throw in that stray for Tom Brady. He was like, yeah, he never won a Super Bowl without Josh McDaniels. Tom Brady did go to Tampa, and in year 1, and also it's Tom Brady. He's the greatest football player of all time. It's just the edge these guys have with former athletes. Like, there's respect. But I bet Tom Brady, I mean, he beat the Redskins' butt every time he faced them, the Redskins Commanders. So there's definitely some, deep hate, I think, coming from Chris Baker, too.
Well, he's all jacked up, too, about his quarterback. He just said it was the missing piece where we needed Jaden Daniels. But, a guy who's not going to play tomorrow is Jaden Daniels. A guy who I saw in the Prudential Mall last night, Sam Hartman. I was walking through the Prudential Mall. I was like, that's Sam Hartman. He had a big shopping bag. You know what? Look good, feel good, play good. So definitely can expect him to be at his best tomorrow.
I love that. Take advantage of it. I'm pretty the athletes get stipends too. Like the pro athletes also get stipends, like to spend however they want when they're on the road too. Must be nice. Making millions, get a stipend when you're on the road traveling too. Good work if you could get it. I wish I was a little taller with a better arm and more athletic and also just everything else. So it's still limited to the NFL. All right, one more quick sound to hear from for you guys. Let's hear from Antonio Gibson here. And this is him also facing his former team in the Commanders and also a guy that is pushing for a significant role in this offense potentially. So here he is right here.
It's just a start, man. It's not an actual game, but to see us come out here and compete, especially against a team like that, just gives us a standard to where we need to grow from, and we just keep building from that.
How would you describe the styles here? You, Ramondre, Trevion, similarities, differences?
Just to have depth. Everybody does something a little bit faster. I feel like we can all do it all, though. We can all run the ball, we can all catch, we can all pass protect. And we got little things that we do different, but just having a backfield who could do it all. It starts up front with the big guys, man. Shouts out to them. They've been continuously to build, continuously growing, and taking coaching, and it's looking good. It's a new year, man. We doing what we need to do this year. We're going to continue to build. Everybody looking good right now. We're just going to continue to build from there.
Antonio, do you guys leave the field today, or do you personally leave the field today and say, you know what, that went pretty good?
Everything's not as good as it look. Everything's not as bad as it look until we go watch film, and then coach is like, hey, you did this here. So, it's a good feeling, though, that it looks good out here right now. I'm pretty sure some stuff we still need to correct and grow from. So we'll go out there and look at that and fix what we need to fix. Yes, sir.
How does it feel to be just one day closer to actually
It feels good just to come out here and not to look like we haven't done anything in the offseason. It feels good. So like you said, we continue to build. Coming up, we got a game Friday. Put that to the test and see how we compete there. And, once we put it in the game, then we can just continue to build from there.
Maybe opposing defenses struggle to defend and maybe challenging for you that you think they're going to really take advantage of?
Got you, man. The details. I feel like that's the biggest thing for me that I got from him, the details. The details is crazy. He doesn't play about that. There's no sugarcoating it. Like, you have to know the details. It's one thing to know the offense, but the little things matter. And once those start clicking, you can see it. Like, if we do the details right, we have a good play almost 90% of the time. And once you do something small, one player, it messes up everything. And so that's kind of what he instilled in us. So once we get 11 guys on the same page, it's almost unstoppable.
Do you feel like you're picking up on those details? Is it taking some time in your life?
For sure. I'm not going to speak for everybody. For me, it took some time. I know I struggled in OTAs. I'm getting there now. I'm starting to get more confident. It's still, a few things here and there, but it takes time, but I'm getting there. Once you get it, everything else is smooth.
All right, there's Antonio Gibson of the New England Patriots, now with the Patriots, formerly with the Commanders. Had a tough go last year, but everyone in that offense too. Excited to see what we'll get from him this season. A guy that isn't on the roster bubble, in my opinion, Annabelle. I think he makes the roster. You need depth at the running back position. He is a veteran too. Good pass catcher. It's interesting to hear from him there, talking about offensive line, everything that goes into it. With Ramondre Stevenson's fumbling issues still lingering with him, as we've seen from their scrimmage, Antonio Gibson, under-the-radar guy. Again, we'll see how much we see him tonight, but under-the-radar guy for his significance and what he brings to this offense.
Definitely. And it's also not a bad thing. Obviously, to have him as a weapon is great, but also just to have that competitive fire. Know that someone's always on your tail, especially for Ramondre in the fumbling situation that he had last year, and now a little bit of what we've seen already in this training camp. It's actually a good thing sometimes to have that competition and not let your job be totally set in stone.
Yeah. All right. We'll take another break here. When we're back, we'll talk that Tom Brady statue, but we'll also talk some fantasy football. I mean, fantasy drafts are almost here. So who from this game are we watching for we would want on our team? We'll get to that and more after the break right here on Foxborough Rush. All right. Welcome back to Foxborough Rush. Annabelle, let's talk about it. Tonight is not just a preseason opener, the kickoff for the Patriots in the preseason. The Tom Brady statue revealing. We don't know what the pose will be. We don't know how big it is. We don't know what it looks like. There is just a lot. Oh, what's this? Our first glimpse of the 12-foot tall Tom. We knew it would be 12 feet tall, of course. He wore the number 12. It's going to be interesting, AB. Let's start with this. What do you think the pose will be for Tom Brady?
Ooh, that's a great question. You know what? I saw some people thinking it was going to be him holding up the Lombardi trophy, but I really think it's going to be kind of Doug Flutie-esque, what you'd see outside of Alumni Stadium, probably just going to be in the throwing motion.
I like that. I think it'll be, as you said it, what he would do running down the field, the let's go. It might be that too. There are two that my head goes to. When he won his first Super Bowl in 2001, he's standing with his hands above his head, just like the disbelief, backwards hat on, cannot believe what he achieved.
I like that. And that's a hard expression, though, to feel like capture.
Right? And that would be him without the jersey on, without the helmet. That's why I think the let's go scream, that's the easy one. That's a lasting memory that a lot of people have. And that's everything he brought, the energy. It's more than a play. He was more than a quarterback. He shaped this franchise to what it is, and he was the motor behind the most successful run we've seen in pro sports in the last 2 decades. It's insane to say now. Okay, so you think the throwing motion for the pose. I like that too. I mean, he's a quarterback, end of the day. He's a QB, and he's the greatest quarterback of all time, greatest football player. Here's my thing. They have to get this right. I don't know if there's more pressure on a sculptor or whatever you call someone that makes statues now than this one, because it's not just Tom Brady. It's not just the GOAT. It's a damn handsome fellow. So I just think of the awful statues we've seen in the history.
Now, 2025.
Yeah. Yes. There's a lot of investments made, a lot of work done. But hey, if you got the means, I mean, by all means, go ahead, TB12. What do you think of some of the worst statues of all time? Because that's what runs through my mind. When Tom Brady's getting a statue, you picture certain ones. You're like, you hope it doesn't end up like that.
I'm not worried about it, even though there have been multiple botched statues. We could name all of them, Dwayne Wade, Ronaldo, all of these. However, they've been holding on to this statue for a year now. And Brady's had such a crazy schedule that they haven't been able to do it. So I'm like, if you know about it, you've had time to ponder it. The crafts do everything to the best quality. I don't think it's going to be a botch like this Dwayne Wade statue.
Yeah, Dwayne Wade, a.k.a. James Earl Jones. I don't know how they did that to put them together. I think of the Cristiano Ronaldo statue where, the face was so small. Exactly. Oh, look at our producer, man, showing up. How proportionally small the eyes are. And again, and you talked about it. You said it too, Annabelle. Now, the Cristiano Ronaldo messed up teeth. There's a lot of work that needed to be done, and then he made a lot of money. Very handsome fellow. Look, they even messed up the hairline. That's the stuff that matters. They need to get Tom right.
Yeah, it's so funny because I actually did a little bit of a deep dive into these sculpting situations, and there were documentaries literally made about this Ronaldo and then the Ronaldo do-over. This was like they interviewed the sculptor's wife. She was crying. Like, this was a really emotional thing, and people were pretty upset about it. But what's even more confusing to me about the Dwayne Wade situation is I watched another mini documentary and video on the creation of that one. He was there for the process of it. Like, he saw it being made. So I was so confused. Like, you're seeing this, and yes, maybe because it's you don't want to be like, oh, like that doesn't look like me and cause a big ruckus because someone's taking the time to make a statue of you. Like, maybe he was being humble. I feel like, though, in that situation, you got to raise your hand. You got to say, hey, this just ain't right.
You know, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but that's not me. Like, that's one of those
not
things.
me.
Like, you're getting paid for this, so by all means, you'll get paid. But, like, do you want to redo? And then you got to get into, like, they're going to ask for a discount. I like that call. One that I saw, too, same thing. I was, like, Googling, what are some of the worst statues? Wasn't put up by a team or league. But David Beckham had a statue that the H&M in London put up. And it was just him. It was, like, silver. It wasn't bronze or whatever, so it was really shiny. And it's him only wearing underwear. It's David Beckham, go figure. But it was just, like, it didn't look like him. It just looked like a random guy wearing underwear. And it just, like, it was like Silver Surfer, the superhero, meets David Beckham in a statue form. Again, like, is this bronze? Is this silver? Is it, I don't know, copper? Is it gold? It should be gold. It's Tom Brady. That'd be massive and a lot of money. Again, what goes into this and the detailing of it? I'm curious to see, because people will remember if it's really bad. That'll make the rounds more than if it looks cool.
Well, this is the new photo op at Patriot Place. Like, regardless of whether you're there for a Patriots game or a Taylor Swift concert, people are taking a photo next to this. I mean, people take photos next to the Doug Flutie statue, and that's Doug Flutie. Like, we're talking about Tom Brady, right? Mm-hmm. I also think with the sculptures, there is a piece of any artist that wants to be creative. They want to have some metaphor in it. They want it to be artistic. The sculpture of a real life human is not a place to be artistic. Like, it is a place to be exact, especially when you have someone on a stage like this. Thankfully, George, you and I don't really have this problem. I don't think anyone's making a massive over life-size statue of either of us. So we're in the clear. That's a good thing. You and I are safe.
Hey, you were big time BC Lax. I mean, I was just whatever. So if anyone,
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
I have like a 2%, not even. I have a 0.2% chance of. I have a 0.002% chance of ever getting a statue. I'd put you at least at 1%, AB. I'm just being honest. Maybe 2. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
you know what? It's a Friday. I appreciate that. You know what? Thank you. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know about that. Taking it into the weekend.
Someone says anything spicy to you, be like, you know what I was told today? I told there's a chance I get a statue built to me one day. So
yeah, right next to the pro shop, next to Tom Brady. Actually, it's gonna be like, I'm gonna be the person who ushers you into the pro shop.
Hey, if it's a statue of you, I would take that. I love that you also said the Taylor Swift one, because there's a Tom Brady statue, deservedly so. I would not be shocked if there's like a John Bon Jovi statue one day. I mean, he's like best friends with Robert Kraft. He has some concerts. Or if you're T Swift, you sell out as much as her. There will be a banner, something in the rafters. Hang the banner, Taylor Swift, Gillette Stadium. It could happen one day. All right, so we talked statues. Let's shift to a little bit like fantasy football combo here, AB. Out of the players that are on the field for either side, who would you want on your fantasy team? And now it's easy. You know, I'd take Drake May, Jaden Daniels. So I'll do a little challenge here. Drake May or Jaden Daniels, who would you rather have on your fantasy football team this year?
I got to go Jaden Daniels, and I'm so excited to see Drake May and what he does. But Jaden Daniels, I mean, you were in the MVP discussion. You're the rookie of the year. Like, this guy, the next step, everyone's like, oh, will he have a sophomore slump? It's like, no. But also, like, is he going to improve? Well, the next step to improve is the Super Bowl, right? So, like, yeah, it's going to be a hard leap because you got to get to the Super Bowl is, like, your leap. But this guy has just done things, and you heard it in some of those Commanders interviews that we just played on the show. This guy is doing things that no one has really seen from someone in his position at that young. Yes, he's older for one of these rookie quarterbacks, but he has a lot of experience. So I got to go with Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I mean, he played the full season. Look how poised he was. We just heard it from Chick Hernandez, like where everyone around that Commanders building is looking at him going, this guy's not real. And they basically treat him like a robot in a good way, where they can challenge him so much mentally. It's not about the physical aspect. Mentally, what Jaden Daniels can handle is dazzling everyone in Washington. And look, it sounds like Terry McLaurin's going to stay. I think that's a big thing too. He has a better receiving room. He has more athleticism, the upside when we're talking rushing touchdowns in fantasy football, and also just more football under his belt. Literally in college and the pros, you would take Jaden Daniels this season. I think year 3, year 4, maybe we see Drake May separating himself, but Jaden Daniels will keep getting better. You want to see Drake May get to that part where Jaden Daniels right now, arguably top 7 quarterback in the league. Drake May is not top 10 yet, so that also says a lot. Looking at the wide receivers, there's so many. Who would you prefer out of both squads? Who would you want on your fantasy team?
I think for this one, and the McLaurin situation is an unknown right now, even though it might seem like he's going to stay with the Commanders. It's still an unknown. And say you do come back, you've missed all of training camp. So I think for that reason, I got to go with Diggs. He came back a lot faster than everyone thought. When he did come back, we've seen some great glimpses of greatness, and I'm excited about that. And so I think for him to be the go-to guy, if Jaden Daniels doesn't have McLaurin, who is it going to be? Debo, maybe, but we haven't seen that yet. So I think I'm going to go with Diggs for this one.
I like that with Diggs, yeah, definitely over Debo Samuel. I think Stephon Diggs ends up being, 6 catches per game as his average, and he'll have bigger games. Around 850 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. He wouldn't be your wide receiver 1 on your fantasy squad, but he could be a great depth piece, a wide receiver 2, possibly 3, and depending what your league is, or a good flex play as well. I would take Terry McLaurin out of the preference. He's a 1,000-yard receiver. He's Jaden Daniels' best guy, and he's clear-cut the best receiver in the room. Also, another one, though, under the radar, I would go Pop Douglas. I think he gets a high volume of touches. I think he gets a lot of looks in the red zone. I think he ends up getting a good amount of scores. Josh McDaniels' offense, AB, always spreads the love amongst the receivers. There's not one workhorse and then everyone is whatever. It's honestly a steady diet of consistency from the top 3 receivers in offense. And last one, too, I would look at Hunter Henry. He has good rapport with Drake May. He's good in the red zone. Tight ends play well under Josh McDaniels, and Hunter Henry has played well in this system in the past.
Yeah, and he's a security blanket for Drake May. They have an unbelievable relationship off the field, but also on the field that's going to translate. And we didn't see a full season's worth of that, right? So now you have a new go-to guy in Hunter Henry for Drake May. Also, you're going to see him be used a lot more in the red zone. So I'm super excited about that. Also, like you said, with Pop Douglas, that's a guy who during that joint practice, we were seeing a lot of people say the Commanders cannot find a way to cover him. Let's go. That's awesome. I don't know how much we'll see of him in the preseason game, but definitely a lot of great things that we're hearing.
Yeah, we'll see how it pans out. All right, let's end with the running backs real quick. So it's Ramondre Stevenson, it's Brian Robinson Jr., there's, of course, Travion Henderson. Antonio Gibson, good player. He's not a fantasy viable type of guy to start. But out of the running backs we'll be seeing tonight, who would you want on your fantasy squad?
That's a tough one. I'm super pumped up about this Travion Henderson opportunity that we have. It's going to be the 1-2 punch, like we've been saying all season. It's going to be that committee that Josh McDaniels wants to have, but I really think that's what's going to make us super dangerous as a team. So, and in the situation too, people have even been saying that Travion could be the starter if it goes south with Ramondre, which we hope it doesn't. But in that sense, I think I'm going to go with Travion for this one.
Yeah, I like Travion. I think it's the highest ceiling. And to me, at this point, too, all of these guys would be late draft picks, right? Like Ramondre Stevenson, I would go, he's an RB1 in an offense. I think he'd be around 7th, 8th round. It all depends, right? Brian Robinson Jr., I don't really know where his ADP lies. But Travion Henderson, where you can get him as a value pick, possibly in the 10th round, that boom that he would hit, that ceiling that he could tap into. He's a home run hitting back, really good pass catcher. Will get a lot of touches again. I think he'll be touchdown dependent. But out of the 3, and I'm thinking overall construction team, if you take a Ramondre Stevenson, you're hoping he's your, say, RB2. I think if you take Travion Henderson, you have your running backs picked. At that point, you're going with the flex play, and then he eventually can be your starting running back. So I'm with you on that one, Annabelle. I would want Travion Henderson on my fantasy squad. All right, we'll take one more break here on Foxborough Rush. When we're back, quick mailbag for you guys. Welcome back to Foxborough Rush. All right, let's get to the mailbag. First one, Eric Powers on the Patriots drafting wide receivers. He commented, look, it's supposed to be a rebuilding season. If we make it to the playoffs at the same time, that's a plus. Either way, you all want that superstar receiver, draft them next year. Only don't do it like Bill used to. Crappy. No more N'Keal Harry's. Find yourself the next Megatron. Okay, Next Megatron, that's Jeremiah Smith, but he won't be in this year's draft. He'll be in next year's draft. So I'm all for stockpiling first. Like, get me 10 first-round picks, trade them all for whoever has a number 1 overall pick and taking Jeremiah Smith. But in actuality, I would still want to trade for a Terry McLaurin because, AB, my viewpoint with him, he matches with the window of Drake May and this team when they'll eventually be contenders. And what Terry McLaurin could teach Kyle Williams would benefit Kyle Williams if he pans out for the next 10 years. There's something that matters with having those vets. And I would 100% give up a second-round pick for Terry McLaurin because you won't find a better player than Terry McLaurin in the second round of the upcoming draft.
Yeah, I also think we're in a state of the NFL that you don't need to waste a year. Like, you can still rebuild and bolster your roster while still going for that championship. Literally what the Washington Commanders did last year, right? Nobody thought that they were going to have the turnaround that they did. So I think at the same time, you got to be a little more optimistic about this. And yeah, like, you can have those vets, even if it's not Terry McLaurin. We have Mac Hollins, right? Like, we have Stephon Diggs, who in a way has a lot of experience in the NFL. You could look at it that way, who can, bring up a Kyle Williams. So yeah, I don't think we look at this as a wasted year in any way.
Yeah. All right. You'll like this next comment, AB. From Anthony Hernandez. I really do believe Travion Henderson is our sleeper X factor of the team, more so than anybody else. I think Will Campbell determines the outcome of this team the most because he's a left tackle, and that's a lot. But a sleeper X factor, yes. We just talked about him. Annabelle, I mean, you've been on him. You love Travion Henderson. He's a great back. He is a sleeper X factor because he can have this offense reach a whole new potential.
The nation is not talking about it. And everyone probably on the other side of the NFL thinks that it's a sleeper, but not for the Patriots. And just like you said. But also, I love how you pointed out Will Campbell because what Travion's able to do is really determine what this offensive line can do as well.
That was like, I didn't know if you saw it on like Twitter. It was going around like Ashton Ginty, everyone's saying he stinks, he's a bust because he had 3 carries for like -1 yard. He would get the handoff and then a defender would be in his face right away. Offensive line matters, folks. Saquon Barkley with the Giants was good, always injured. Saquon Barkley goes to the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was the best offensive player in football last year. You need the O-line before you have the running back. That's me being old school. Annabelle, as always, great doing Foxborough Rush with you. Excited to see the statue tonight. Make sure, whatever you're doing this weekend, AB, I want you to walk into whatever you do with the confidence that there's a 2% chance you get a statue built of you one day, please.
2% chance. I can work with that 2%, George. I appreciate it. Let's go.
Awesome. You're the best, AB. You guys know where to find us on Foxborough Rush every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 2 p.m. on SN Nation. Find out on YouTube. Leave us a comment. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one, everyone.